not just continue to fight as Evelynn. You really are kind of just that one-trick pony.
Well, Jensen, of all champs he has ever played more than 3 times, Zilean is his highest win rate. Across 13 games, 85%. This is going to be his make or break moment. Now again, yes, LCS playoffs are double elimination. If they lose this series, they play TSM. That best of 5 determines who is going into the final anyway, so that is still a possibility. TL are not completely out if this happens to them. But FlyQuest want to get back in the final. Santorin finally is allowed to play the Evelynn. Orianna comes through for PowerOfEvil. We'll see if we get a Lichbane. We'll see if we get a Nashor's Tooth. We'll see what comes out of him. But FlyQuest poised to come into the final from the upper bracket for the first time if they can do it here today. We'll see if they can knock down TL 3-1.
It's going to be so interesting because the Orianna does have the ability to throw that ball over onto this Evelynn. You have more access towards that backline now, but at the same time on the other side, if TL gets ahead, if they are winning out in these skirmishes, Zilean plus Hecarim, Zilean plus Kalista, those are incredibly powerful combinations when you have the Ornn in front of you. You have this Kalista running around at 1,000 miles an hour, snowballing the game, taking everyone down. If she gets focused and burst out, that is easy to answer with the Zilean. And that's why it becomes important to be able to land, AoE damage, to be able to threaten multiple targets. And that's where the Shockwave comes in. That's where PowerOfEvil needs to find more than one target. They need to be able to threaten consistent damage rather than just a one-shot from an Evelynn, because Zilean can answer that too easily.
Okay, well, we are live, and we're going to see who can make this one happen. Bomb's not going to land. No poke on either side really just yet. FlyQuest on the red, Team Liquid on the blue. When TL played conventional team fighting, they won. When they didn't, they couldn't put it through. Jensen on a tried-and-true mage, though not the typical damage carry. They're going to put a lot on Broxah and Tactical to be primary team fight damage output. Kalista tends to fall off a bit late game. Hecarim tends to do that a little bit the same. There is some level of early game emphasis in his composition, but it is still a conventional team fighter for the first 30 or so. See if that can be enough as FlyQuest wants to do a bit of a late invade. They don't have a sweeper, so if there is anything to be had, they will be on a ward doing so. I believe they snuck in, and they want to invade right at 130 and try to punish a red buff start.
I think they're actually expecting Hecarim to be on Raptors, potentially.
Right.
That's generally where you would start if it is leashless. They are going to be, finding him here, but TL's moving up their bot lane, and IgNar is split, so we'll see if anything comes from this. It's just going to be a smite fight, I think.
Everyone wants the Raptors. They'll get a couple of them early on. Gets the first smite, but how many of the small Raptors will be taken away? Because that is where most of the golden XP is, other than the first camp. Traded back and forth. They're both halfway to the next level,
they're just going
but they want to keep fighting over red. And honestly, the level 1 damage from FlyQuest is quite good. You've got lethal tempo on Ashe. You've not quite got the ward. They couldn't get enough attacks in, and that means red's getting pulled. And with the vision deficit, FlyQuest can't take this fight. So Broxah will have a very slow road towards his red. You can see he might have to smite this, to be honest, because he's going to lose so much health otherwise. As we've got Eve running across the map to leech XP and get level 2 himself.
I actually feel like with Zilean showing mid and with Ornn showing top, you should win that 3v3. With Ashe, Braum, Evelynn, I think that is really powerful at level 1. It is so tough to fight against Braum comps at level 1 with the concussive blows there. So, I feel like maybe they could have committed more heavily to that, but I get not wanting to potentially just risk your whole game at level 1. But that being said, you committed kind of like halfway for this invade, and it does just end up resulting in Broxah getting, a couple of the little Raptors. He gets his red buff, and they're going to be ahead.
And level 1 and IgNar means he's running out of health so fast. Exhaust comes out of Tactical. Ren still comes through. Health bar low. Turtle tries to fight this one back. And I guess they get Guardian off, but that is huge. That is what feels like a mistake out of IgNar Turtle to not be far enough back when level 2's coming in, but they didn't know when it was coming across. They were all late to lane and didn't have the breakpoint in mind.
It's not the level 2 power spike from Lucian, it's Kalista. They didn't expect it, but that's something you should always be doing, counting minions, backing up when your opponents are going to get level 2 if you cannot contest it. It could have been a scenario where they thought they could finish off the last minion and then both get level 2 at the same time and maybe fight it. Maybe they were feeling like that was the type of position they're in. But in the end, that's 3 summoners down for them for just the 1 over on TL. So you take a strong 2v2 matchup that TL has, and now you have this Braum really on the back foot, and you can create the potential to pick on him with a potential gank from Broxah or something like that.
Going for a stun, some decent damage.
Ooh,
Solo
yikes.
flashes because he was going to be stunned in turret range possibly. But Solo overstepping here with the wave in the wrong spot. And this is maybe gank bait, but Impact is going to be attacked by Santorin. They've got to play around the immune somehow. Gets the knock up, turret aggro, not claimed yet, but Solo's going to run out of health. He is dead to this turret shot every single time. Impact grabs first blood. You cannot take this dive without flash. He dies in the dive, and that is gold to Team Liquid.
Oh, that's a disaster. They really wanted to try to make it happen because it was a pushing wave, but they also didn't force out the searing charge. You actually need to wait out the searing charge, and that is the mistake here. So, you don't take aggro until after he does his E, right? That is what you're trying to do. But because he punched him right as the E comes through, Solo is being damaged during that CC, and Santorin is not getting damage out during that CC. So if you just simply walk up, you put the charm on him with the W, and then you threaten that attack, he has to use his searing charge or he will just be charmed up first, right? And then you have waited it out. He doesn't have that. You kill him after that CC expires and it's easy peasy. But FlyQuest mis-execute, and as a result, first blood over to Impact, flash down on Solo, and that CS advantage matters a lot less because of the kill gold going over to the Ornn.
Yeah, going to tie up the money pretty closely here. You can see Team Liquid as a squad are up 300 to 400 gold right now. Jungle camps traded equally across the board. Bot lane early advantage expected for the Kalista lane. And there's going to be some farm grab by Ashe, but it should still be a small deficit on the FlyQuest side. -10 will be answered by about 7 as the wave goes down. Pretty good setup by IgNar trying to block the shots, but you can see how much damage is available there. That's huge hits right there. And now Broxah makes sure the top lane looks safe with the control ward he in fact is. And you can see Impact yet to even burn his TP. Actually, he had used it a while ago. Solo now under a lot of attack, puts the shield on, gets a decent amount of blocking, but he is not going to live through this one. Gets a stun, still going to drop. And Team Liquid on the board with kill number 2.
Nice punish there. They know the flash is down. Dies on the dive. He dies to the gank because he doesn't have flash, and because he died, he didn't have 6 as well. And now, no teleport. The wave is going to be bounced, and so much of his lead is just going to be completely gone. This was potentially a lane that could have just been destroyed by FlyQuest because Solo had a massive CS advantage. Instead, they fail the dive. They lose their flash. Now Impact hits 6 off this, gets the experience advantage, and they go straight on in. Ghost was popped, gets right up onto Solo. Solo with a nice buffered W there, but it just doesn't matter. The Ornn ultimate had already landed. You get knocked up off of that. There's no way for him to fight his way out.
And even though Sett's supposed to feel pretty good into tanks up at the top side, it may just not be enough here. As you can see, Blade of the Ruin King is on the way, but Bramble Vest is already done, and it's time to move towards Sunfire Cape. Impact's going to be comfortable for a while, I have to feel like. We'll see as that moves on. Mid laners are grading farm back and forth. We are actually not seeing what I would actually call a more typical Evelynn build, where you actually, on first recall, you go Dark Seal Amp Tome. You actually don't finish the smite until later. Because Evelynn just scales so hard off AP ratios, it's actually a healing stat as well for your passive. We had seen, for example, Death Cap first item, pretty common as well. We'll see if that's
After jungle
for him. Well, yes, sorry, yeah. First after the jungle enchant, but the solo queue build is Lichbane, but the really good Evelyns I see, actually, more often than not, you're doing Death Cap first to scale your passive. You basically heal the full under Demon Shade if you go Death Cap, and it's actually a pretty important quality of life.
And we did see that in the LCS. Both games that I've seen, and I do believe, did go Death Cap, so they were on top of that there. We'll see where Santorin does want to take us. Obviously, the jungle item completion is extremely efficient. You are a little bit less powerful, of course, if you don't have that Dark Seal early on. But he's just trying to race towards that power spike, and we'll see if he can get anything done here because he is now 6. And this is where you really want to start making things happen. You can be ignoring that vision, just kind of sneaking around, trying to look for plays. He is going for the invade here. They know that Broxah was down on that bottom side for the Dragons, so he could potentially take away the Gromp and even the blue buff. And if they could soften up Impact, you could always look towards another dive, but it is very, very risky, because if you fail that again, it could be pretty brutal.
As long as Santorin holds 100 mana, he can get away from almost any gank. This time around, he's going to have to wait it out. Goes for the re-charm, gets the damage across, grabs the blue buff steal, and hey, look, there's uses money fruit for him. So Santorin going to feel good about that one. His own blue buff is back up on the map. Top lane farm, we snapshot at 17 CSD. Solo in the lead, Impact with some gold. We'll see how it moves over the course of time.
I will say, though, when you're going this Blade of the Ruin King build on Sett, it feels like you need to be dominating lane because Blade of the Ruin King Sett is not very useful in team fights, generally speaking. You're incredibly squishy. You usually cannot get enough auto attacks to really make it worthwhile, for that on-hit damage when it is about that 5v5. So because he has fallen a little bit behind, this build is going to be much less effective. You want to generally move towards things that have a little bit more durability, a little bit more health to be able to survive in those 5v5s and just not get straight up one shot.
Well, again, we have first Herald targeted every single game right now by Team Liquid. Broxah is there at 9 minutes basically every game. The supports and AD carry you saw actually had roamed up. You can look at the minimap. You see Tactical and CoreJJ were up halfway in the bottom jungle. They come back down. The wave was pushed in. No one's answering Broxah anyway, so easy pickup, easy scuttle, and that Herald charge is going to be a lot of gold in one of those lanes.
And that wave is pretty much hard frozen. If Impact wants to keep it that way, he can. So that gets pretty rough, and Solo's not able to push it in. So his CS advantage is even going away because he knew that Hecarim is up there doing the Herald. He knows his jungler is not around, so he doesn't actually get to really approach whatsoever. Impact decides he wants to reset the wave, but with Hecarim up here behind him, they could potentially look for a play.
Well, right now they're battling over the red buff, and that's going to be Broxah grabbing it. So answers Santorin's blue steal with one of his own, essentially. And now it's going to be people looking at the chickens. And a control ward comes down, which is going to make Broxah feel pretty comfortable. Going to be chased off with a threat of a charm, and Santorin will be able to get this camp for himself as these junglers keep trading back and forth. The control ward is finally killed off, so nothing really gained for that play out of Broxah. He tried, but it wasn't going to be enough. PowerOfEvil could have moved over pretty easily. The Sett could have as well. Top lane snapshot now within 8 when it was 17 not long ago. You mentioned that freeze, making it hard to get all the farm. And we keep on going as the next Drake spawns in 2 minutes, so it's going to be a while till FlyQuest have any objectives to fight over.
And generally speaking, as the Hecarim, when you're going for this style of build, you are fairly weak at this point in the game. He's rushing towards Triforce. Santorin already had the fully completed jungle item, so if you take that 1v1, it's probably when you lose, even if PowerOfEvil does not come to interfere. With these builds, you really are just trying to wait for that Triforce. When you do hit it, it's almost like you're a whole new champion on Hecarim. You're insanely strong with that completed item, but prior to this, the gold efficiency on the completed jungle items is almost always going to have your opponent winning out in that 1v1.
The only difference, though, is Boots right now has been skipped so far for Santorin. Of course, checking out his rune page real quick. He's got the free ones, as you kind of expect without a champion, so just rushing the enchant down. Boots coming through in 45 seconds anyway. And we'll wait for the next move. It's 1,000 gold on TL's side. You can see jungle difference in bot lane as plus 16 so far. Is going to feel real comfortable. Mid lane, though, good farm from PowerOfEvil. Could be hard to last hit on the Zilean, so takes an early CS deficit. Rod of Ages coming in soon.
And honestly, at this point in the game, you don't expect that CS deficit to ever get worse, because on the Zilean, it's really the early levels that are difficult before you have enough mana and levels in your bomb to kind of just clear out that wave. CoreJJ is going to find the hook, though.
It's time to lock in for IgNar. Going to block most of it. Here comes the re-engage. The fear comes across. Oh! They get the pullback, and CoreJJ sadly steals kill credit, but it's still turtle gone. Hook lands, Hecarim shows up, and by the way, Rift Herald's here. It's time to break the curse. Team Liquid gonna get a sub 15-minute turret for the first time in playoffs.
I was wondering why you were so excited. Jensen may get knocked down here. He still has the ultimate. Both players really holding back there. Santorin trying to force Jensen to use the ult early. Jensen trying to make Santorin use his ult defensively and does end up winning out there. TL really looking good so far in this game, with the bot lane shenanigans going very poorly for FlyQuest, with their 2v2 on the bottom side losing and now impacted even more heavily by this Rift Herald and first tower take. TL have a significant advantage, over 2,000 gold at this point, and with the Kalista Hecarim, you have such a strong mid game. It's very, very easy to start stacking up these objectives, grabbing this dragon, grabbing the next Rift Herald, and really just trying to take full control.
You can see Solo trying to scrap with Impact, forcing him to jump away. Easy rend. Okay. Easy enough rend. He's going to auto it down. It's fine. It's fine. Mountain Drakes are tanky. They have extra armor and MR. So he's going to back away off this one. TP comes in. Jensen wants to find Turtle. That slows a really big deal, but he can still get the double bomb. Number 1. Number 2. No follow-up, though.
So I will say I'm a bit surprised that Jensen did go straight towards the Roa this game. Maybe just worried about the Eve. But it means the Glacial Augment is going to be largely worthless for a long time, because he didn't actually go towards the Super Soaker. He could go for it next. He has the Null Magic Mantle, which is probably just going to be like Orc Tread, since there's a fair bit of CC. And then I assume he's going to go towards Last Chapter and get that Hex Tech GLP. But that is going to be pushed back quite a lot. Obviously, if you are going to go for Roa, you should go first
Yeah.
to get it stacking up. But I didn't expect him to rush towards it this game.
I think this is the build order that Bjergsen used at least once. I remember seeing this before as well, which is Roa into GLP second, so may well be the follow-through.
Usually you see it against like Syndra's and stuff, you know, when you're worried about getting one shot in lane. I guess, you know, maybe there's just as much concern because it's an Evelynn, you know, so that may just be the nod to the burst that Evelynn has, and in that case, I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, as long as there's like a logical reason, I tend to not complain about builds very much. It's like, there's a logical reason for the setup. Triforce is done. The power spike is here for Broxah. Darkseal picked up a bit later for Santorin. Decided to rush his enchant, but still goes Darkseal. And there's the NLR. He is going Death Cap indeed. We are seeing Turtle, by the way. Despite the fact that Tactical does not have Cleanse this game, Turtle is going for Ruin King. He is against functionally triple melee. Thresh is, I would say, functionally melee. So any time where you can get 3 frontliners like that, you really, really like Ruin King builds. It's more auto-attack focused in that regard. So it does make sense compositionally. And now we're going to move on to the rest of this game as a 2,000 gold lead has TL pretty comfortable. 2 Drakes up already, 3 minutes till the third.
Especially where the gold is. Kalista is significantly ahead with the tower gold plus the big CS advantage. They don't even care if Impact's honestly behind a bit of farm at this point. Later, Ruin King's down on solo, so maybe he wins the 1v1. But generally at this stage in the game as Ornn, you have enough levels in your abilities to just wave clear, and you can't really be punished very heavily whatsoever.
Wait for the next punishment then. Wait for the next team fight. Level 11 in for one of the top laners. Rank 2 ulti for both mids. Solo will get there before the next Drake easily, and well, the Herald's coming up eventually. It's going to be less valuable as first turret is already gone. Plates are already gone as well, but it will probably help them craft that next turret and open up more of the map. So easily Team Liquid are there on spawn. They get a little stopwatch buff and the fact that they've been timing it and they're ready to go. And now we're going to see as the waves are cleared back and forth, Tactical feels safe in the mid lane. Turtle, like, he could theoretically just arrowed right there. It's a Tactical, if you guess wrong in the hop, I'm going to stun you, but fall through damage is never going to be there. Core was always going to keep him safe, so no play to be had.
Exactly. The other thing with the Rift Herald is that we've seen a lot in this series. Rift Herald used to help secure the dragon, or at least to attempt to secure the dragon. So that is what I really expect from it this game. In 2 minutes, the third dragon will spawn. You know, with TL going to be trying to go for soul point, you can just drop the Rift mid, help to get priority there, go straight towards the dragon. At the very least, it should help to secure your vision control in the area. And in the best case scenario, you know, it gets you a tower, or they just try to answer that and you get a free dragon.
FlyQuest now grouped on the bottom side. Jensen's ward, though, keeps him pretty safe. Knows Eve's not in Tri-Brush. Double bomb, make sure no one's going to walk into that one. Gets temporary control of that brush. We can see what happens in later times as recalls come through for a few champions. Ruin King finally done. Seraphs turns around for PoE. Solo gets a bit of a lone time topside as he knocks in the wave, knocks down these minions, and we're going to see Impact answer, but not before his turret takes a lot of damage.
Yeah, we'll take a fair bit here. And it doesn't have the Triforce to really shred through, but they could just continue this. You know, Impact is going to have to back off with Santorin coming up. He obviously doesn't know that, but if he stays around, there is the potential to get taken out here.
Good of Santorin to Shadow. It actually might be Impact calling that Santorin, you know, like Solo wouldn't play as aggressively if Santorin weren't here. You know, hey, I think jungler's topside, we can't see him, but, you know, the movements make me believe this is the case because it's not like there's any awards that would have spotted Broxah coming around, you know? And it's not like he's going to die and trade for Drake. This is just him playing very aggressively.
Yep.
Anticipating that any gank is not going to matter, and he is right because Santorin is there. Fighting over the mid lane now. Broxah has Rift Herald in the inventory, knows he can summon it during the Drake to either trade for a turret or just get both.
So check out PoE's items. He is really strong right now. He has the Seraph fully stacked up and a Spellbinder before this fight. And this could be the game-deciding fight because you cannot allow TL to be working towards an Ocean Soul this early on to get Soul Point. It is extremely unlikely to be able to hold them off getting that Ocean Soul for the rest of the game. So FlyQuest pretty much have to fight, and being as strong as possible right now is incredibly important. You can also see QSS has come through for Tactical, which is going to make him very difficult to engage on.
Well, mid lane going to be cleared easily. Team Liquid will be able to be the first to move that lone minion. Help keep the wave at a decent spot where FlyQuest couldn't push any farther forward. A hero in the mid lane, and now we have a flank possibility for Solo and Santorin. Can they find the squishy? Can they kill Tactical? He can QSS flash out of Solo's ulti, and the Drake is going to betray. It's going to betray. It's going to look to the right. They know where these guys are, despite the control ward. TL now knows what's going on. Solo forced to back off, and now Broxah wants in. He's going to be charmed in a sec. The dunk to the back line. Arrow's going to land. QSS right away. Re-engage comes across. Solo gets the shield across. Jensen the target. Gets low, but not low enough as Impact runs backwards, stays alive, and he gets the Zilean ulti, but the first kill comes through. A 1-for-0 tactical to target, and without Zilean ult, there could be a chase through. Look how low the health bars are. Turtle flashes in, but can't quite get the kill, but PoE does! 2 kills in, but it's traded back. It's a 3v3 now. Bomb on the head. PoE getting low, but no way out for Broxah. Solo has the damage, and now it's a 3 versus 2. FlyQuest are on the way in. Solo wants this one. He may well find it. Punch, punch, kill. Shield should be available soon. That is the Bud Light ace for FlyQuest. They have answered the team for 19 minutes.
PowerOfEvil coming up huge again for FlyQuest. He has been a monster in this series, Azir after Azir after Azir, and now on the Orianna here. Incredible farm, over 200 CS before, I believe, even 17 minutes, and he gets a 2-item power spike in time for this dragon fight. And he was monstrously strong for it. He landed the shockwave. Here's the Bud Light ace once again here. Solo and Santorin had been spotted out. They try to look for the engage. Santorin going in here. The charm was used on Broxah, so he's never really going to be able to burst out Jensen, but he tried to flash in to get him low and to be able to back it up. You can see then Jensen over on the side. The shockwave catches both tactical as well as CoreJJ, and that was the critical moment. Turtle flashing forward here, but Broxah still has his ultimate, and he would have been knocked up by Impact anyway, so he gets feared down, knocked down, but PowerOfEvil so strong, Seraph completed, keeps him alive with the shield, and allows them to have those constant speed ups to chase him down, shielding up Solo, sending him in there, and allowing them to get the ace, plus the dragon, preventing that soul point. Just an incredible team fight from FlyQuest, and really so much of the work there done by PowerOfEvil.
Really, really well done. There's the damage up. That's what I wanted to see. How high was Solo's damage? Because he was mostly untouched, or at least, you know, durable enough it didn't matter. He got so many hits down.
Solo
Turtle,
lanes.
yeah. Turtle flashed in for the volley. That was enough to set up the solos. Supportive play, loses his life, but so very worth it. 5 kills to 2, I think, that fight overall. Solo's going to feel comfortable now on the AD set. Here comes Santorin for the bot side. By the way, I can ignore you. I can go for the turret. They're going to go for the play instead. Dunks him into the wall. Means he can't ult, and there's no way out, but Solo's running a bit low. He'll stay alive just barely, but Jensen's here. Auto, stun, bomb number 1. He's life-stealing, though. He's life-stealing. Okay, he'll die. This is dead. This is Solo dropping. He's going to try. He's not going to live. Jensen's TP gets him a kill.
Going to be able to respond back to that, so nicely done there by TL to at least be able to trade a kill there. But yeah, the difference in solo lane damage was pretty astounding. Something like 2,500 damage between Jensen and Impact, and just about 8,000 damage done on the other side by Solo and PowerOfEvil, who ran rampant in that team fight. Really did pop off, and despite the fact that Turtle, you know, had his ultimate QSS, there was then nothing for the subsequent CC that could come through onto tactical. So, Team Liquid now behind. They went into that team fight with a pretty significant advantage. You know, up gold, up dragons, and now FlyQuest has bought themselves a lot of time, and we'll see how they look going forward because Santorin is closing in on death cap, which is an enormous power spike. PowerOfEvil is working towards his death cap, and that plus Spellbinders and Seraphs is such a ridiculous amount of flat AP that not only does it give you... Oh, we'll see if CoreJJ...
Had to stun. He's going to get chased down. Gets the haste. PoE's trying to keep teammates alive, and they're going to get away. But yeah, that could have been a play. Theoretically, if Tactical weren't stunned, maybe he like grabs the Thresh with R, Core jumps out, goes to the Flay Lantern play. Like maybe, but that would be a huge reach. End of the day, PoE's in danger. Here comes Jensen, here comes Broxah. He is unstoppable, he is fast, he's going to fear this man right back in. How do you live through this? The stuns come in, the shotgun buys time. You got to be kidding me, PoE's still alive. Here comes the re-engage, Tactical is shut down, and PoE won't die. How about the re-engage? Broxah wants to go right back in.
Oh, the double bomb!
Dunks in Jensen. Jensen will revive himself, but the whole team is ready. I don't think you live through this one. The heal doesn't matter. The kill comes in. And yet again, a 2-for-0 FlyQuest out team fighting Team Liquid.
PowerOfEvil just cannot be burst down there, and despite a heroic triple bomb, you know, Jensen stunning up 3 people with that double bomb. It's going to be TL losing that fight. Broxah has no ult, no ghost. He's playing Hecarim, so he can't flash in. And this should be an easy Baron here for FlyQuest. They have full control over this game, and they are getting dangerously close to winning this series here, to securing their grand final berth over Team Liquid.
Looking at back-to-back finals. This dive, a lot of damage. PoE tanks it.
Yep. he got the Command Protect in early before that initial bit of damage came through. Then he gets the Seraph's Embrace up, huge amount of shielding. His Command Protect came back up towards the end of that, and his self-peeling Shockwave, also very, very big, did help to keep him safe. We saw that 3-man stun coming through from Jensen, trying to turn around that fight, but it was not enough, and FlyQuest now on the siege.
And look, that replay, that was a style choice. That was a fight that was not safe for work. The fact that PoE just refuses to die, like this man is unearthly. You just can't watch the rest of it. It's just not fair to everyone else here. And this is FlyQuest looking to move back-to-back-to-back finals. I said that one weird. Back-to-back finals might be the play here for the squad. And as they look to make this a 3-1 victory over TL, the 3,000 gold lead, next Drake is spawning in 15 seconds, and FlyQuest poised to grab this one with map control.
But TL still in this. If they can get something done at this next fight, they could come back. Impact though in trouble. Deathcap is done for Santorin. This could be a lot of damage.
Tried to guess the timing. His W was on cooldown, so the charm's going to land despite the flash. Santorin going for more. Ults away, 800 damage. Thank you very much. Kill picked up.
See you later. And with that kill, not much chance to contest at the Dragon at all. Jensen's top side has no TP. Baron pushing mid and bot. They're trying to look for a fight here, but Braum is tanky, and FlyQuest should be able to knock down a tower here and then retreat back to the Dragon and grab themselves another objective.
TL looking to be sent to the lower bracket there. Santorin wants a red belt to be handed to the Turtle. There you go, grabs that one. Ocean Drake alive, and it doesn't really matter really how much they stack it. It's kind of going to be a while till Ocean Soul comes across, but they are going to send a couple over the wall. They're going to knock down bot lane tier 2. An embarrassment of riches right now for FlyQuest as their gold lead crests 5,000, and they tie up the Drake score, and as the items come through, the death cap almost there for PoE. Turtle going to build towards his third. Yeah, this is going to be FlyQuest. I mean, so heavily favored here. TL, it's going to require a big comeback.
Yep. I do think PoE will easily have death cap on base. That's going to make the Command Protect even that much stronger. That's the added benefit of going for these really heavy AP builds as opposed to something that is, more flat pen or even Leandry style builds. You have an incredible amount of defensive power because of the scaling there. And now wrapping around here again onto Impact, he is going to be in trouble, corralled towards this Eve.
Going to go for the Shockwave. Santorin not going to show up for the Charm here as well. Impact is flashless. He has an ult, but he's not going to cast it. Gets chunked down rapidly. He tried to counterbuild for his top lane matchup. And of course, yes, he stacked some armor. Abyssal Mask, not enough to deal with this. 10-stack Magi's picked up there for Santorin. He's ready to go.
The AP damage is just so fed right now over on FlyQuest. You need a lot of MR, and there is not a lot of MR over on this team. Broxah going to be pushed out, could get chased down, but I don't think FlyQuest need to overextend. They should wait for their base. It has been so long since PowerOfEvil has been back to base. I like that they played it a little bit more passively with the Baron buff because, yes, they could have maybe pushed a little bit longer and then gone back to the Dragon, but if you lose a fight and you give TL Soul Point, that's a win condition for TL, right? So you take a little bit of a safer route here by just grabbing the early Dragon for yourselves, denying that as a potential win condition, because without that, it's getting hard to see how TL really gets back in this. They're going to need an incredible engage, really powerful revive, and we can see PowerOfEvil not sure if they realized where he was, so he's actually just going to teleport back to base.
It's a smart, safe play, though. Not a lot of TP2 for a while. Yes, teleport will be down for Ocean. Yes, it'll be down for Baron, but a kill would have been map control, would have been big shutdown money, and another Charm's going to come through. Big damage here. Can they find the stun? The dunk every time always cancels it out. Impact is low, but Zilean's around. This is going to be a dive that's going to be answered.
Is it the throw?
Santorin has to flash to stay alive. Ult over the wall. Easy kill on the one, and Solo going to be kill number 2. Tactical going to put in the stacks. Going to get the Ren, and that is 2 big kills on the road to redemption for Team Liquid.
That's a great counterplay from TL, but what is the risk reward? Where's the evaluation on this play? PowerOfEvil is back towards base. We'll see if he can get something back on Broxah here.
Hero's not quite going to land. CoreJJ can't quite get the hook back as well, but it is some money back in the pocket of TL.
So I mean, you have to do some risk reward evaluation on a dive like that. You're going for the Ornn, who you've killed like 4 times already, right? He's at his tier 2 tower, right near his base. You don't know where TL is, which should lead you to believe they could quickly respond. The rest of your team is not around, so if they do respond, you're going to die. So it's like the reward is less than 300 gold because you've killed them a bunch of times, and the risk is multiple shutdowns, losing all of the stacks off your Magi's, losing your top lane tower. They lost a tremendous amount off of that, thousands of gold.
Okay, well, thousands of gold is the
movement in the direction of Team Liquid if they want to make a comeback happen. Death's Dance gets completed for Broxah when it probably wouldn't have otherwise. And of course, yes, he could have farmed another 40 seconds and maybe would have gotten it as a result of that, but it's not like his jungle camp's up, so he's ready to go. He's ready to look now at Baron respawning in 35 seconds, Ocean Drake spawning in 1:45. If FlyQuest want to rush down the Ocean Soul, it'll be about 35 minutes when they get it. You can see TL look for the same idea, possibly. Pretty tanky front line on both sides. Ocean Soul actually feels pretty good for either team in this game.
Look how poor Impact is. down there on the struggle bus with the supports. That feels bad.
Solo's in third place. Solo started the game 0-2-0, by the way, right? He got slammed by jungle pressure and some overstepping, and in this case around, it's, well, doesn't matter, my mid game's better, enjoy this one.
And he is doing well to his credit, you know, and also a lot of jungle pressure helping him out, right? It's been constant dives and attacks on this Ornn from the Evelynn to really keep this Ornn down, to really keep him squishy. But Impact, you know, getting some levels under his belt. He did throw down that Blade of the Ruin King upgrade. Jensen has his death cap now, so next level in for Impact, that's going to mean another upgrade. Those Ornn items erasing a lot of the gold lead. So TL with FlyQuest on that overdive, losing the tower, giving up the shutdowns, and now Ornn getting enough experience to really start to upgrade these items. The gold is pretty close to parity, truly, as far as gold efficiency goes.
Okay, well, that is, of course, what you get out of playing Ornn, of course, but it's still, the end of the day, those items are what they have, and the stats are what they have. So now looking at the mid lane, Hecarim pops a Blast Plant, gets away. Team Liquid grouped up together as 5. Jensen can always revive 1 if he's on the game.
There you go.
Eyes on the ball. Is there the dive? Here comes the charm towards Core. He's going to be charmed up. Here's big damage and pulled right back in by Tactical. Round 2, look at IgNar, knocked into the air. CoreJJ burns a stopwatch. Bombs aren't going to land just yet, but Core doesn't have a good way out. And miscommunication, he flashes away with Zilean ult on him. If they wanted to fight, they could have maybe taken it. But now, how does Broxah get away? The jump on in, the ulti stops short. Solo gets the kill, puts up the toaster, and says, you tried to camp me, it doesn't matter. And now we're going to look at the play over in the top side. It's Baron being attacked. It's now Team Liquid without Smite, forced to defend, and will they even try? Baron's going to be grabbed, no contest. Team Liquid run with their tail between their 12 legs as the Baron is picked up for FlyQuest.
Not able to contest there, and now it's going to be another Dragon potentially here for FlyQuest. They're running straight towards it. Broxah is still down. As you said, CoreJJ flashed out and got Zilean ultimated at the same time, and then Solo just chased down and killed off Broxah, who had been getting zoned out of the fight throughout that entire time. And they couldn't really challenge. They're looking for a pick, though.
All they get is a turtle flash. It's a nice attempt. It is a flash burn for a short cooldown. It's a good play, but it only means a single 5-minute cooldown. FlyQuest grab their third Ocean Soul, and at 36:15, they will have it.
Assuming they can grab that next dragon, we'll see. And you know, it gets tough, right? You know, at this stage in the game, to be this Hecarim diving into that backline, you are strong, but you need assistance to actually burst down even the Ashe without the flash. You need someone else to get there, back there with you, because otherwise it's going to be exhaust from the Braum, it's going to be Guardian Redemption, you know, all of these things making it difficult to hit that kind of lethal damage threshold before you get stunned up and just killed off yourself. So we got to see some good combinations here from TL. We need to see the speed up onto the Hecarim, a bomb on his head as he ults in on top of the Ashe and they burst it down. Those are the types of plays they have to look for. There also is some potential of killing off PowerOfEvil, who has no stopwatch. He does have the flash available, but if you can kill PowerOfEvil, if you can kill WildTurtle, there's some hope.
Jensen has flash, Jensen has ult. Turtle has the arrow, level 16 onto him, which just naturally lowers the cooldown on the arrow. He'll manage to weather that one and go towards Infinity Edge as his 4th item as he gets some healing reduction. Believe it lasts long enough on an upgraded item to survive through a Zilean ult and give them only half health on revive. It's close timing, I forget exactly. I know someone who knows the champion better will tell me for sure. Regardless, FlyQuest playing around this bottom jungle. They've got Baron, they've got the Drakes. There's nothing to play for in the neutral game for 3+ minutes, so it's sieging only. And so far, Team Liquid with double bombs are doing that pretty admirably in defending, but now mid's under fire. Ren doesn't mean too much to PowerOfEvil, but the wave is cleared, and the Nexus turrets and the Inhibitor turrets are going to stay pretty healthy. Top lane tier 2, the only easy target, and FlyQuest looking nowhere near it.
Not going to be able to get over there just yet. Obviously, the wave pushing against them up on that top side. They're just trying to play towards 2 lanes. Jensen, nice slow.
Ooh, Shockwave on Core nearly kills him off. Thankfully for him, he's tanky enough to survive the whole thing. Doesn't force any ults out of Jensen, but it does mean he's no longer in this fight. So a 5v4 temporarily means in goes FlyQuest. No Shockwave is not a concern for them. They're okay to knock down the turret itself. And look, Baron's ending in 25 seconds. May have to back off.
Yeah, I mean, CoreJJ went back to base because he was low, and Jensen showed bot lane. So they stepped forward in a 4v2 to just take down that turret. There's not any threat with just those two members there. They couldn't engage without CoreJJ. They don't have a lot of follow-up without Jensen. So TL got to try to find their window here. But it's looking tough because you can't just start it off with a Braum an Ornn ultimate because of the Braum. He can just block that up, no problem.
So mid is dropped. The stun's going to land on the back line easily. Wait it out. He's okay. Taps will wait out that stun. Eternal goes +1 for a long-range arrow. Doesn't matter, though. They can walk away as bot lane's pushed in. Now Baron buff is gone. So all the gold FlyQuest have earned is not spent right now, and the Baron buff that gave them the benefit is gone as well, but they still may look for the play. Santorin tries to find a charm. Again on a tactical. He is a target. Not dead just yet. Broxah sent back. Here comes the dive. Nearly kills off Jensen. Gets the ulti out of him. How about the re-engage? Though Impact is here. Again, the dunk comes in. Redemption resets the fight. Health bars are good. Solo heroically in the front line, stunned up, doesn't matter, has the shield. FlyQuest need to send Santorin away, gets a shield, and that turret's gonna fall. In addition to that one kill, it is 5v3, and FlyQuest looks to go to back-to-back finals inside the base, waiting for the next wave. Knock down the minions, and the respawn timers are 30 seconds on 2 of them. It is a 3v5 defense. The carries are alive. The wave clear is in. IgNar taken up in the front line, puts on the shield. Can they
Tactical!
Tactical tries. He finds 1. He finds 2. He's gonna find 3, and he is revived. Do you believe a 3v5 team fight? Because TL certainly does. Give him the quadra. Give him the kills. Tactical with the Bud Light Ace single-handedly.
The Rookie of the Year saving TL's upper bracket run here, fighting back against FlyQuest with so aggressive. That is the kind of aggressive flash you love to see. They know that the shockwave's on cooldown, so he dodges out on the QW. He sidesteps the Braum Q, the knockup for impact, buying him time, and then look at this flash, flashing forward over the Q there from the Evelynn, gets charmed up, instant QSS into the double bomb stun there from Jensen, and he has the revive to keep him safe. That was masterful from Tactical. What a play to save their series, to keep them alive. And we will see if they can continue to battle back in this, because they are still up against the ropes. It is still sole point for FlyQuest with 2 inhibitors down for Team Liquid, but they have a chance.
About 2,000 gold went to Tactical in that fight. He got a 1k shutdown on PowerOfEvil, and now it's FlyQuest saying, all right, we're angry, we're back on the map, we're TPing into mid lane. Ocean Soul is in 12 seconds. That seems like the easy target here, but they might try to bait TL into fighting for the Drake and going for the Nexus instead. You can see FlyQuest not wanting a team fight. They want this instead. Tactical could be a target. He's got to be careful. Dunk in the backline is a big stun. Solo might be a target. CoreJJ stunned up.
Tactical's on the
Four-man stun
fight
for impact, and Solo going to have a really hard time living. Redemption comes through. He'll stay alive for now, and the re-engage comes across. He flashed over the wall. Broxah wants it. Not sure he wins, though, but with the teammates, he certainly will. Solo gets on the shield. He will lose his life. 1 for 0 TL, but the re-engage. Shockwave catches impact. That's going to be a stun. That's going to be only a Zilean revive, but it could still be an easy target. 2,400 health back up. He is tanky. He's going to find a double stun, and TL might find the re-engage. They get a hook. They get the Ren stacks. They go for a lot of damage on a Tactical, and he's going to find kill 1, and he's going to find kill 2. Santorin does not have a way out. He's going to drop another double, and Tactical is doing everything.
He is taking over, but look at their base. Their base is dying, and PowerOfEvil is going for the back door. He's got to get out of here. We'll be able to retreat, but that is 1 Nexus tower down. There's just not enough healing debuffs. If it's not for WildTurtle hitting Tactical, he has too much self-healing. No one can actually kill him. He has Bloodthirster, Blade of the Rune King, Death Dance, plus some of the healing actually from his ruins. So it is ridiculous how hard he is to kill. Unless you have a healing debuff on him, he will just tank through everything. And now with Santorin dead, TL can actually look for a Baron.
Seems likely. I mean, 15 seconds on the important respawn that matters. Both supports respawn in about 3 seconds, so it's essentially a 5v4. Though keep in mind, Ornn and Zilean are walking out of base right now, and that can be a bit of danger.
There is potential with the combo this late in the game. It's a lot of damage. If you mess up as TL, it's possible.
Renda stacking, but Brox is at half. They can Zilean to get him back up to full. If he's to fall, but 4k health. This might not be doable. Solo wants in. Arrow's going to find Jensen. That is a huge play. That is big damage. That is a dunk in the backline. Shot over the top. They might find the first kill. They force the revive. How about the re-engage? Is it enough? They're going to find impact. 1 for 0. Jensen's next. Dive to the backline. Is it going to be enough, though? Here comes Kalista, and Tactical puts his face in front of FlyQuest, puts in the damage, finds the double,
Look at the healing
back up, and they finally kill him. Solo does it all. Solo finds a second. The Quadra's not enough because Solo, true to his name, is alive against the world. And a 1v1 now for 40 seconds. Solo versus Broxah with dead inhibitors means minions are flooding into the base, and Broxah does his best to clear the wave.
Yeah, Broxah has to keep these super minions away because he can't actually fight Solo plus the minions. He won't be able to defend it. He needs to have that turret there to back him up, so he is able to cut the wave critically for him. Solo should be able to get at least one inhibitor. I think he potentially could go for two, but it would be too risky. So he's going to have to back off here. The game continues. This has been insane. But someone on FlyQuest, please buy some more healing debuffs. Tactical is healing for thousands in these fights. As they go around the side, the arrow from Turtle over the wall catches Jensen, but they can't burst him out. But then track this shockwave there. Multi-man shockwave from PowerOfEvil. Huge combo from him, but Jensen able to get the revive off, and then Tactical on the side, stacking up the Rens there, getting so much damage down. They try to turn on him, but as soon as Turtle goes down, that's your only healing debuff, and that's where this drain tanking just becomes a nightmare for FlyQuest. They stun him up. He doesn't have QSS. If he did from that position, I think he just easily heals through this. Yeah. Barely they kill him off. But I mean, that was so close to Tactical surviving from that situation, and now he has even more lifesteal with the Mercurial purchased up. There's still no healing debuff besides just the Ashe. So honestly, if you're Broxah, just keep Ashe away from this Kalista, and no one can kill him.
Solo should have not gone Randuin's. That should have been a Thornmail. There's no way to dodge it. He has Hurricane. Tactical is going to Thornmail himself. It's impossible to dodge this away. I think that is a very big misbuy. I think that would have changed that fight a lot. Solo dies before Santorin or Tactical dies before Santorin ever falls, and that fight looks different. But regardless, we are onto the siege. Baron buff on just the Hecarim, but it's enough to buff the minions, enough to knock down the mid lane turret almost, but Shockwave catches onto Impact. Is he the target? Not yet the Zilean ult. They're holding on to that one. Redemption gets the health bars back up. CoreJJ in the front line. Big damage on Santorin. Gets the shield, gets the bomb on his head. No killing towards IgNar. Jumps back towards WildTurtle. And they keep the turret just barely. Yeah,
they're going to have to back it up because you can't re-engage like that with Impact so low. And force that Zilean ult out of them immediately. So Impact's going back to base. TL are staying around. This is actually somewhat risky. If you stay around too long, Impact has no teleport just yet, so he can't rejoin you immediately. But this game is very likely to be decided at the Dragon in 1 minute here. So much on the line. TL trying to keep their hopes alive in this series as FlyQuest are so close to knocking down Team Liquid. And if it wasn't for the heroic efforts of Tactical, one of the best played Kalista fights you will see in that base defense, they would already have been out.
Hook play onto Eve. Can she ult in time? She cannot. Santorin is gone. 5v4. Team fight begins. Shockwave on 2. Jensen self-ults. Broxah pulled the safety.
It didn't
Jensen
trigger.
Will time it out. Jensen is at 2 HP. Is there enough to re-engage? Can they find it? FlyQuest 4v5. They know the backline can't really fight here. If Turtle's alive, that means Tactical is in danger. The moves being slow matters. The healing reduction matters. And it's going to be a reset. But Santorin is dead for 20 seconds after the Ocean Drake spawns.
And that's why it's pretty much guaranteed to actually be the soul here for TL. I don't think FlyQuest will make the call to bet their game on this fight. It's such a low percentage play to go for it, so they are going to back it up. They are going to hope that they can burst through any potential Ocean Soul. It is incredibly strong on people like Impact, who you cannot burst, who you cannot one-shot. But there is still the possibility of bursting someone down.
Solo flashes, he's still hooked. This could be the play. 5v4, dunks into the wall. Santorin alive now, goes for healing reduction, gets revived on the front side. No kills just yet. Solo runs away with Ren stacks on. He's going to kite out, wait for them to time out. PoE flash over the wall. Big damage on Solo. He's shut down 1-0. Redemption only means so much because Turtle is under attack. Turtle is under assault, and Turtle has been de-shelled. He is gone. 5v3. Team Liquid were stuck in their base with a 3v5. Tactical pulled the fight back, and TL have won fight after fight after fight, and they're going to fight now to close out the game, to tie it up and go to game 5. In a 5v3, they'll look to push down the Nexus turrets, and who is going to stop them? PoE without Shockwave seems unlikely. The front line is there. Broxah has GA. They pull back IgNar. The turrets are going to fall, and Tactical carrying this game on his back. Give him the revive and he'll do the work. Another kill as Santorin falls yet again. The Nexus drops and Team Liquid bring us to game 5.
In a team with so much experience, 2 world champions, a Worlds finalist, an MSI